summer vacation. Your friends are all eating popsicles, watching cartoons, and going to the pool. But you are 8,000 miles away, eating plain white rice, sweating, and trying to fend off 20 mosquitoes. This was my childhood. Tonight, Toastmasters, I would like to invite you all on the journey of my half-Indian culture, from loathing to acceptance to appreciation. My dad is a white Kentuckian, and my mom is from India. They met at the University of Kentucky, and then got married and moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where I grew up. Every 3 years, our family visited my grandparents in India for a month. As a child who lived otherwise as a completely English-speaking, cheeseburger-eating, air-conditioned American, there was no greater torture to bear. Every meal that my grandmother fixed was filled with unpleasant foreign tastes. I barely ate. However, the mosquitoes were eating me alive, despite how much bug spray I wore. I complained constantly and begged for my parents to take us to Pizza Hut or McDonald's, which are in India. I didn't get along with my Indian cousin, who seemed to think my sister and I were spoiled. After a hot, miserable month, I was ready to go home and never think about that place again. At home, I was ashamed of my Indian culture. During World Food Day at school, other kids' parents brought in pizza to represent Italy, or tacos to represent Mexico. Meanwhile, my mom brought in what looked like different colored mush to represent India, and nobody touched it. I was embarrassed when my grandparents visited from India wearing their traditional garb around the neighborhood. Why couldn't I just be a normal American girl? In middle school, my mom decided to punish me further by joining the Indian community in my hometown. We attended Hindu services where I wore uncomfortable outfits and sat for hours while people sang songs and chanted. It was only when I joined the girls' Bollywood dancing group that my circumstances began to turn around. I loved the spirited movements and exotic rhythm of the music. It was there that I made my first friend in the community, Raka. She laughed at my opposition to all things Indian, but she accepted me nonetheless. Slowly I began to open up. I discovered that there were several redeemable aspects to Indian culture. The dances where we lined up and slapped sticks together, the holy celebration where we threw powdered colors and sprayed each other with water guns. I made more friends and found some Indian dishes that I enjoyed. I even started to invite my friends from school to dance performances for the Hindu holiday, Diwali. The subsequent trips to India were also much more tolerable. I became friends with my Indian cousin as we spent time hanging out together. My grandmother was really happy that I ate more of the food she cooked. As I learned Hindi to the point where I could give instructions to the rickshaw drivers and even get around, my mom and I joined a daily yoga class at a nearby institute. Although I still became bored and homesick at times in India, I realized after I returned back to America that a part of me still remained in India, with the noisy traffic, the scent of jasmine flowers, and my grandmother's strange rituals. These same sentiments and appreciation for different cultures eventually called me to join the Peace Corps and live 2 years abroad in Peru. So it was a little strange growing up in Alabama, which is not renowned for its cultural diversity, to be considered the representative of India among my American friends, and then to be considered not really Indian among my Indian friends and family, to be a part of both worlds but not totally fit in either one. But I now see it as more of a gift than a curse, as an opportunity to be pushed out of my comfort zone from a young age and learn about the world. Even though now I am away from my family and Indian community back home, I still hope to continue learning more about my heritage and maybe even living in India for a few years. I'm going to my cousin's wedding there this summer, and I'm looking forward to it tremendously. Bring it on, mosquitoes.